Hey, I'm Becky. Welcome to our Wedding Photography FAQs series. Today's question is, what should I ask my wedding photographer during our consultation? Most professional wedding photographers will walk you through what a typical wedding day looks like with them when you have your consultation, but it can be helpful to have a few questions ready to ask to make you comfortable with your booking decision. One of the most important questions we think you should ask your wedding photographer is related to their values. What do they value when it comes to wedding photography, and what are their priorities on your wedding day? For a lot of photographers, they'll be able to tell you about this during the consultation when they talk about their style and how they shoot throughout the wedding day. But if you don't get that sense from them, this is a good question to ask. Another question you should definitely ask your wedding photographer is about their style. You want to make sure that you connect with your wedding photographer's style of shooting and editing for your wedding day. A third question to ask your wedding photographer is if you can see a full gallery of images. That will give you a good idea of what a wedding photography gallery would look like from start to finish with your wedding photographer. And finally, make sure that you understand your investment with that photographer and all of the details that come along with it, including how to book that photographer. When you meet with a wedding photographer, you're going to be asking them a lot of questions, but they might have some questions for you too. It's important that that working relationship is a positive one and that you really connect with that person. So as you're meeting with your wedding photographer, don't hesitate to share some of your concerns and things that you might be nervous about on your wedding day, because sometimes your best questions will actually come from those things. So for example, if you're really nervous about how you look in front of the camera or about being in front of the camera, that would be a good question to ask your wedding photographer, to be honest about that and say, how can you help me with this on my wedding day? Or if you have a crazy family and you're worried about how family portraits are going to go with them, you might want to ask that photographer, can you tell me a little bit more about how family portrait session time might run with you? That way you can give the photographer a chance to talk through the things that you're most nervous about on your wedding day. And finally, a bonus question to ask your wedding photographer is how might you be able to collaborate with them? There are definitely things that couples can do to make wedding photography run smoothly on their wedding day, and so asking your photographer, what are some things that we can do to set ourselves up to get amazing images on our wedding day could be a good way to set yourself up and get started on the right foot.